Such a beater. I fucking love it. Such a piece of shit. Alright, what's up guys? It's been a minute. Quite a few things have happened over the past few months. So I've gotten quite a few things done on the car. I haven't necessarily shared it yet, but it will be in this video. It might be a little bit on the longer side, so I apologize for that in advance. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of montage happening since a lot of this has happened over the course of a few months, and you know, we fixed some things, we broke some things, and we definitely learned a lot of stuff along the way. So, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot more as this keeps going. But I had an idea that I would get this done this summer and enjoy it. Got nowhere near that, you know, life gets in the way, other projects, other stuff. So I'm hoping to have this thing ready to take to some shows in the spring. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. Before I even get into the 1.8 turbo swap, I think I'm gonna take it stock and enjoy that for a little bit before I get into the engine, do all the work to it, pretty it up, because I ideally would want a nice clean engine bay once that car is swapped. So I'm gonna take my sweet ass time with it, and I'm gonna try to learn as much as possible on the original engine and everything else. So yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. So we got the taillights in, we got them tested, but I did not test the reverse light. And when I did, turns out that it didn't light up. And I went through the fuses to see if it was a blown fuse, but turns out that the indicator lights, I believe, and the reverse lights, the tail lights are on the same breaker, or on the same fuse that the rest of, I mean, some other indicators, some other lights are on. So, and those work, so therefore it can't be that. So I looked inside and did some research, and there is a light switch. A backup light switch located right here. And yeah, mine looks pretty blown, corroded, melted. So I'm not sure if it's if the switch itself is faulty. I did get a replacement. It was 19 bucks. If not, it might be the actual plug itself that's faulty. So I'm hoping that's not the case, and I'll have to mess around with splicing in new cables over the end. But here's our new backup switch. Nice and brand new. It's made specifically for the model that has the shift up indicator, so I had to make sure that I got the right one. Looks like it's just being held on by 2 screws, so we're gonna get that. I already disconnected the power just in case. So we're gonna do that, and we're also gonna do this AC hose because I have a replacement. And you might be wondering why I got an replacement for an AC hose. And I'm not sure if I showed it in the original video, but my current AC hose line likes to talk. Hey, I'm Canadian! So, yeah. We're gonna cut some zip ties, get it off right there, get it off right here, just 2 easy screws, 2 nuts, and it should come up free, so let's get to it. There's my neighbor with his Shelby 350. So just left. Ouch. Alright. With the old, nasty, flooded. Oh. Got a spot where it's been melted too. Holy cow. Look at that. Maybe that will be our culprit, and nothing else will be needed. Oops, that's... And we've got the replacement. Alright, that's done. We'll plug it back in. Hopefully it works. If not, we're gonna have to change the plug out. So I got the new switch, put that in. and the reverse light still didn't work. So obviously the switch was burnt as well. So I went and replaced that as well. Spliced it in, plugged it back in, still nothing. Then my brother came over, and he knows a little bit more about cars than I do, especially when it comes to electronics and stuff like that. And he basically bypassed the switch just to check if there's any disconnection, you know, past it, and it worked fine. The lights were there. So therefore, by process of elimination, it turned out that the brand new switch that I bought was faulty as well, just as the original one. So I bought a new one, plugged it in, and what do you know? They work. Let me show you. See? They work! I've replaced turn signal relay as well, because the passenger side seemed to have worked completely fine. Nice and even ticks between the flashes. However, the driver's side, for some reason, was flashing crazy. You know, usually that means that there's a bulb out, but front's good, back's good. What could it be? Well, I thought it was actually the turn signal stick. I thought that might have been faulty, but turns out it was actually a turn signal relay. So I bought that along with the switches for the steering wheel, for the wipers and the turn signals, and swapped it out. It cost me all of $3.50 or $4, something like that, and now the turn signals work perfect. So another step closer. Now I believe the next course of action will be replacing the cable for the hood and the cables for the e-brake. The hood is actually not too bad. It's just the way it's broken inside, and the line has a little like metal ring that kind of holds the line in place on the lever itself, and that seems to be broken. So I just got a new cable as well while I was getting the e-brake cables. But we'll replace the e-brake cables next, as those don't seem to be working at all. You just pull the e-brake, and as long as the car's in neutral, it'll still roll. They do nothing. So we'll replace those next, and then we'll fix the tailgate from all the rust and paint it, and then we'll finish the front end. I still gotta wire the spotlights in the middle, so I gotta wire those in, as well as the actual DRLs for the Euro lights that I put on. So, but you'll see that later. All right, so I still don't have high beams after switching the bulbs and messing with the cables and everything. So I bought new switches. I'm assuming that the high beam switch on the old one is actually broken. So if I already bought one, I figured I'll just buy both. So I got the steering wheel off, which is just held in by one nut. And look at this bad boy, it's pretty crusty. So I'm assuming there could be some bad connections there. So I'm gonna take it off. Let's switch them up. Let's see if we can get those high beams to work. Well, per usual, I've encountered a problem. I guess I should have taken this apart before I bought a replacement. But my theory is that this switch for the brights no longer works. Well, I didn't realize that I have a rare MFA windshield switch, well, wiper switch, and the replacement that I got, well, it has no cables or anything, because it was made for a newer model, or just the base model or whatever. So I've decided that I am going to still switch it. I'm not going to worry about the MFA. I'm not going to disconnect it. I'm going to keep it right there. But I am going to connect the new switches to the steering column and secure them, and then connect the battery and see if that brings me my headlights back. Or not the headlights, but the high beams. Because at least, even though it's the wrong switch, it's 13 bucks, whatever, at least I can use it as a proof of failure, if you will. So if all the other switches on the back are the same, so I'm gonna plug it all in and see if that fixes my high beam problem. And if so, then I guess I'll just have to fork up 150 bucks, or just find somebody that can probably or potentially fix it. So let's do that and let's see what happens. Well, that seems to have worked. Holy cow, so it is the switch. Now how do I fix it? But man, that works great. Okay, well the switch is faulty. So that's good news. Bad news is replacement is 150 bucks. And I don't want to do that. So we're gonna see if we can take it apart and fix it. Question mark? We'll try to find somebody local. Alright, so in the last 10 minutes, I've already managed to go and post on some forums that I'm on, whether anybody knows of a shop that I can fix this. However, I just noticed that there's like 4 clips on the side, and you can kind of get into it. And that's the faulty part, that's for the high beam switch. So I'm gonna see if I can fix it myself. It's pretty dirty and grimy in there. But I'll take apart the new switch that I got, swap those things over, and see if that solves my issue. I'm gonna switch the entire mechanism. So this one barely goes back and forth, or at least gets stuck. So then I'll just swap the new one onto the old one and see if that solves it. All right. Super grimy. Nice and new, but not quite good. Oh yeah, by the way, I stabbed myself with this bad boy while trying to get a grommet out. I was holding the cables, those cables back here in the loom. Working on cars is a dangerous job. Okay. Man, that looks so much nicer. Obviously, it's brand new. What was that in there just now? Oh, it fell out of here. Is complete. Brand new pins, brand new switch, minus the actual housing and the stock. And let's see if it works when we plug it back in. Alright, battery connected. Switch back on. Got lights. Yes. Yes, baby. We got lows and highs. Let's go. That worked. Boom shakalaka. Okay, now we just need to put the steering wheel back on, and it should be good to go. I'm so excited. This thing is finally coming together, slowly but surely. I mean, I'll take care of all the, cosmetic issues here in a bit. Probably not till spring and stuff, but I want to take care of as many technical issues as possible, and learn as much as possible on this thing before I even swap it. So without any further ado, let's put that steering wheel back on. Yeah, you might be wondering why that's off, but that's because the door card is terrible on the bottom, and as you can see, the tape is peeling. So I'm gonna have to redo all of this. Plus, I'm pretty sure the 3D printed piece that I made for the lock fell off as well. Maybe not. I don't know. Seems like it's good. Something fell in there though, so that's why I took it off as well. I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, this bad boy needs some work. And the door cards need some work, so we'll see about those. But yeah, another job done. Let's move on to the next thing. Alright, so next we're going to be working on the speedo cable and the light bulbs and everything, because only this the tachometer lights up green, nothing else lights up green, so you can't really see anything at night. And the speedo doesn't work at all. I've already looked under the hood, and the cable where it goes into the transmission casing, it looks like it's separated. It's supposed to be this one piece, as you can see, that big round piece in the base right here. It seems like it's separated from the rest of... I could be wrong though, maybe I just looked wrong, but it looked like the cable is bad, so I'm hoping that will solve our issue, and because the gear looks fine, but I do have a replacement for that as well, so we're just gonna, well, I gotta send that back out. So I've got some other spare parts for it as well. We will see what we need, but right now I'm just gonna start with the speedo, with removing it and removing the cable altogether and putting a new one in. Hopefully that solves our issue. If not, we might have a issue with the speedo itself. Hopefully not though. Keep it posted. And I don't have a good angle to put this at. I need to buy some suction cups and some arms so I could record some of these weird angles. But until then, I'll just show you guys how it looks as I go along. First thing we're gonna do is take this vent out and then get a screw out that's right above there, and that will give us access to get behind there. And we're gonna take this light switch control as well. Everything else, I believe, should be able to stay the way it is. That's out. I saw a video where you're supposed to just wedge something in and it pops out from right there, but actually I found that if you just grab it right here and right here, so just use two hands and just grab it right here and just pull that way, it'll just pop off on its own, so not too shabby. Then we just have a screw right there that you guys can see. Once we take that out, I'll have full access to behind the dash. Making sure I record this so I know where the locations of the bolts and cables are. Will make it a little bit easier putting it back together. Oh yeah, got this light out, this light control out. It's right there, same as the vent. So like I said, one bolt right there. Gotta lift it a little bit, give it some leverage, and then it comes right out. That gives you access to the back here. And there's that one screw right there that you can see right there. To take that out, and then I have to take these out first, and that'll give me access to the other screw, and then I can take the... Alright, so here's how far I've gotten. Obviously, started from the left to the right. Got that out, got the vent out, lights, control out, and then start taking this apart. And I've realized that my e-brake slash ABS, there we go, e-brake and this bad guy, this guy, is actually upside down. So I'm gonna have to rotate this bad boy 180 degrees, and then it will actually be the way it's supposed to. Though, even though the bulb, like, there's no seatbelt thing here, it's only it's weird. Anyways, so that's what I've noticed. And then I've got an auxiliary fan control that the previous owner or someone put in, one of the previous owners. Oh, and also this thing is broken, so I'm gonna have to super glue it before I put that back in. But now we just gotta take screw off here, screw off there, and we should be able to pull this dash forward. Let's give it a try. Well, surprise, surprise, the second side of the dash doesn't even have a screw there holding it. So it was just one screw holding it on this side that I just got out. So theoretically we should be able to get it down now. So let's give that a try. Oh, you son of a gun. Speedo cable is not even connected. So this is some fun stuff here. One of my electrical connectors is just completely loose down here. Oh gosh, come on. There we go. That was connected just now. I just unplugged it, but it's supposed to be mounted to the bottom of the dash, and it's not. Trying to figure out how to do that. I'm gonna have to replace these bulbs here. It looks like they're corroded, hence probably why they're not working. But I'm also wondering if it has something to do with that, and the fact that it wasn't even plugged in. And of course, like I said, the Speedo cable wasn't even plugged in either, but I already have a new one. The other one looks terrible, so I'm going to change it out already while I'm out here. I'm in here. But yeah, holy cow. Kind of want to take this whole thing out and look over it a little bit better, but yeah, I need to figure out how to do that first. Alright, so I was able to clip it back in. It was already connected, so I don't think it did anything as in lacking with any I think it was still doing everything it was supposed to. But we're gonna change out these bulbs here shortly, but first let's tackle the more important problem, which is the Speedo cable. So comes out right there, and then goes to the wall. Gotta unscrew it right there, and I got a little box back here too that I no longer need with that, so that's gonna come off as well. It is down there. There we go. That bad boy. And it goes all the way down there. I already undid the bolt. But yeah, let's swap it out. Short cable unscrewed right at the base right here. My cables were zip tied, so I cut them free so that I could get in there, and literally just hand tightened. It was hand tightened, so I just unscrewed it with my hand. Then on this side, the same thing. Unscrewed the long cable from this box because it's kind of blocked by a bunch of cables and hoses. So good thing that it screws out, and then you can just wiggle it out, unplug it. And I'm not sure if there's like a delete kit or something, like a plug that plugs into it, or what happens. I'm gonna have to look back into that, but I know that a lot of people just take those out and don't use them. It's just like a reminder to reset it and make sure that it runs properly. But so yeah, we're gonna take the remainder of this out. Oh, by the way, this little tank just slides right on those brackets, so you just pick it up and move it off to the side to make it easy access. But yeah, we're going to take the remainder of the cable out and put the new one on. Alright, so here it is. That's what came out. This gear was on it. And then we just need this tiny little retainer spring right here that's at the end. And then my new system doesn't have it. I mean, my new replacement doesn't have it. And then we also need to put a grommet on. But yeah, see? This thing just separates. It's grimy as hell.
I mean, it didn't even look plugged in into the speedometer, so that might be the initial problem. But like I said, since we already have it out and we already know that's an issue, we're just gonna replace it all and eliminate all the possible causes other than the speedo itself being damaged. So but yeah, let's get this retainer ring, and well, let's first get the new one out and switch that stuff over and then feed it back through.
This is the old part of the speedo. This is the where it connects this. Well, I'm sorry. This is a speedo cable, and this part connects to the speedometer, and then this end connects to this little box, and then that end connects to the box on the other side, and you get the connector from the harness going in there, and then this goes into your gear shift casing, and this looks like it's seen better days. We need to keep this little retaining ring because it doesn't come with the kit. I need to clean my hands off first before I mess with that. And then I've got a new gear as well. We might as well switch it all out. So let's get to it. Alright, I've pried it off. Let's get this little cable. Alright. 2 grommets. Very nice. What a difference. No slack like crazy either. Come the other one. There we go. Nice and easy. Did it with my fingernails. It was a little bit harder taking it off, but way easier putting it on. And this slides on, and the retaining ring keeps it on there, though I might have to squeeze it a little bit. I believe it's preventing. There we go. Nice and easy. It goes to that little hole so you can see that the retaining ring is there. Perfect. Alright. Now we just gotta feed it back through. We should be good to go. Can you guys hear that wind? Holy cow. And then this goes on as such. Boom, boom. Perfect. Now we can stick it back in there. But first, well, actually, I think I want to stick this down there first. And screw it back down. Or at least get it finger tight so it stays in place. Then again, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I shouldn't. That way I have a little bit more wiggle room with this thing, so I don't break the cable. Looks pretty mucky in there. Oh wow. Anyways, oh no. Oh, I just gotta take the old grommet out. There we go. Alright, we gotta vacuum that up. That's disgusting.
go. There's our new speedo cable. There's screwed in down there. A pro tip, well, not really a pro tip, but an amateur tip. If you're gonna be putting a new rubber gasket down there, make sure you shave off the little excess that's around the screw hole. That one, it seemed to have gotten wedged as I was screwing it each time into it, and no matter how many times I pressed it through, the thread would still kind of like work itself up or down it as you wish, and I couldn't screw it in. But the moment I shaved off that 1/16 of an inch that was kind of that extra around there, it fit like a glove. So it's that's nice. Got to put through the hole there, through the wall, and then all the way through. And now we just gotta hook it up back to the dash. But first, I'm gonna change out the bulbs on the dash because half of the dash did not light up. So a good guess is that it's the lights. So let's do that next before putting it all back together and testing if it works.
Womp womp womp. I took the GTI for a test drive after switching out the cable and the gear for the speedo, thinking that that was the culprit because it was pretty corroded and looked pretty bad. Unfortunately, turns out it is not the case, and it turns out that it looks like it's the speedo itself that is faulty. So we're going to take it apart, and turns out that there's a pretty common problem with these. Pretty much a gear comes loose on this metal rod and it just spins freely instead of turning that rod, you know, making the speedo arrow go and counting the miles. So I'm gonna try to fix it that way. If we can't, we're probably gonna just get a new portion of the speedo. I looked it up online and they're like 70, 80, 100 bucks. So yeah, let's take it apart and see what's going on. But also,
I've noticed that this mileage reset button doesn't work either, so I wonder if that's correlated. Plus the two buttons that control the clock are broken too. So we're gonna see if we can't fix them or reprint them or something along those lines and get this thing working again. That's why it's loose. This button for the reset button is completely off the axis. See, there you go. That's why it doesn't work. Well, that was an easy fix. That just snaps right there on the rod, and I can reset the clock now. See, it's already at 0. But yeah, let's find out why this thing's not spinning. Nothing is spinning. Nothing inside is spinning. That's not good. Alright, so this was odd. I've taken it apart and I didn't see anything wrong with it. And I just cleaned it up a little bit. And then I tested it. Not sure why it wasn't working earlier, but I guess I fixed it. We'll put it back together and I guess we'll see, but that was odd. I literally didn't do anything to it. Just took it apart, cleaned a little bit, and fixed this button to reset the trip. That's it. Super odd.
okay, now that the speedo is fixed, we can take on the next part, which is what just showed up, and there the dash lights that we're gonna change from the original green to red, because you know we're going with the black and red theme. Gotta make everything red. So swap it out.
Alright, here we go. Apparently they only fit one way, so it might be trial and error. Alright, let's try it out.
Okay guys, if you got this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I've decided that I'm gonna divide this video into more episodes. After editing it and watching it back a few times, I've decided that 35 minutes is probably more than enough. So this is where we'll stop. And the stuff that I mentioned earlier in the video that we're still gonna do, like the e-brake cables, the hood cable, that's gonna come in the next video, as well as some recap from the other work that has been done over the past 6 months. But thanks for joining me on this journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one.